Yo, I'm making this video to remind you to get out of your own way. When we start new things, working on things, creating things, going down a new path, we tend to psych ourselves out and we get in our own way. At times, at times we could be our biggest enemy and our biggest obstacle. And that's usually all mental. You know what I mean? It's a fearful thought. It's a insecure thought. It's a whatever type of thought, just any negative thought, or anxious. And that imaginary thought stops us from physically doing what it is that we want to do, or what it is that we want to create, or what path we want to go down. Our mind can play tricks on us if we are not, careful, I should say. And just what I mean careful is understand that you are the observer of your thoughts and that you aren't your thoughts themselves. So you don't have to identify with the negative or fearful thoughts that come up in your mind. When you want to do something new, your old self wants you to stay the same. So of course it's going to start to put all these fearful things inside your head so that you don't go do that new thing. It wants you to stay over here, stay comfortable. Don't get up. Don't leave the couch. You know what I'm saying? But in order to do that new thing, like, you need to go new places, mentally, physically, etc. And just understand that you're the observer, right? You are not your actual thoughts. You are separate from them, and that's why it's like good to meditate and just sit with yourself so that you can just kind of observe all the thoughts that come in, and choose the ones that you would like to identify with, when we have ideas, there is a time gap between the idea and when we execute on the idea or when we start to create it. And we need to shorten that gap. The longer the gap is between the idea to when we actually start doing the idea, the higher the chances of it not getting done. Because the space and the time leaves more room for negative thoughts, a bunch of them, to creep in. Think about if you're thinking on an idea for 5 minutes or so and you just do it, versus thinking on an idea for 24 hours. By tomorrow, you might be psyched out because all of the thinking that you just did on this simple idea or whatever that you could have executed today. And now you're not doing it. And now the idea lost and you thought you was going to keep it in your head and you didn't write it down, Get out of your own way. A lot of the times we are our own obstacle. We are our own worst enemy. A lot of the times, it's not always our environment or the people around us, although that does play a part, but it really be us in our own way, and we are our minds are like we a bird in a cage with the door open, right? We can either stay in the cage of our minds, the fearfulness, the anxious, the anxiety, or we can fly out of the cage since the door is open, right? And go experience some new things and freedom and just the unknown. And our minds are literally like prisons without doors or without bars. You feel me? Like, you have to decide whether or not you want to stay in there or leave. The choice is up to you, right? In your mind, there aren't no guards or COs that you have to get permission to leave. And That's kind of scary sometimes, because it's like we have a lot of power, more than I think we realize. And we have the power to either build up our minds or to break them down and destroy them, you know? And we need to be very aware of that, and very aware of how we may play a part in our own downfall. You know? Sit with yourself. Become more aware of your thoughts. Become more aware of your tendencies and actions that you kind of just do, like, without thinking. A lot of times we be on autopilot. And autopilot, to me, is like you just not fully there, or you living on somebody else's like program. Somebody else wound you up and then got you walking somewhere else, you know? Versus you being in control of your life and then your thoughts, and being very aware of who you are and, you know, what it is that you are seeking, what it is that you want to do, etc., create. But yeah, man, it's just a reminder to get out of your own way. Get out of your own way and ask yourself deep questions, you know? When you find yourself fearful of something, or you feel like you in your own way, ask yourself like, okay, I want to do this thing, but I'm having fearful thoughts. Why am I having fearful thoughts? And try to get to the root of that. And then once you get to the root of that, change it. Rip the roots, whip the weeds out of the ground and plant some new seeds. You feel me? Because once you get to the root of things, you'll see that, you know, it's not as bad as you once thought it was. Once you can kind of track where that's coming from. It's just like, oh, the fear of being seen, or people judging me, or my own, how I see myself. I don't see myself deserving, or whatever it is. You feel me? But just become aware of how you may get in your own way, and understand that you have the power to get out of your own way. Help yourself. Feel me? And close that gap between the idea and execution. Shit, other than that, man, be easy on yourself. Give yourself some grace. Get out your own way. Yeah, man. Keep your head up. Till next time. Love, peace.